Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to the Sphere. This episode is sponsored by
Sphere Exclusives. Looking for exclusive content from your favorite podcasts here at the Sphere? Head over to sphere.tv/Patreon and sign up today. Edwards Media Solutions. Edwards Media Solutions delivers custom marketing strategies with easy-to-track results for any industry. Schedule a free consultation today at area code 832-304-5757 or visit their website at www.edwardsmediasolutions.com. Session Boutique. Session Boutique is your one-stop shop for all your fashion needs, from mom to businesswoman or just being classy and cute. Check out Session Boutique at www.shopsessionboutique.com. What's up, folks? Welcome back to Startup Masters, where we're talking to the entrepreneurs about the gems, the legacy, the understandings, the knowledge, everything you need to build a successful business. My name is Gary Lee, also known as G Hawkins. Of course, you can find me anywhere online: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat at G Hawkins. That's G Hawkins with a Z. My lovely co-host, Kalia Guillory, is out today, but shout out to Nat Barhue. She's over there grinding and putting in the excellent work it takes to build a successful empire. And we surely are rooting for her each and every day. But she always blesses us in some way, shape, or fashion, and it looks like she tapped one of her natives, one of the crown jewels, shall I say, coming out of that Port Arthur, Texas. And this young man has walked into the place with the silky smooth suit on, just really pushing forward the culture in a way that speaks to the tenacity that we need, especially when it comes to our apparel, our dress, which then works on our inside, for those that don't know. And I'm speaking about the one, the only, the founder, the CEO, the brains behind it all, Legacy Lapels owner, Mr. Ramon Smothers. What's up, Ramon?
What's up, G? What's up, G, man? Hey, thank you for that that intro.
You're welcome, man.
Yeah, that was amazing.
I got a little tongue-tied myself, man, but I want to make sure I did it right, brother.
Yeah, man. Look, you put it all on the table. I don't have nothing else to say.
And that's why we're here, my G. That's why we're here. But hopefully we can unpack a lot of different things, because the goal today is to talk to those entrepreneurs. It's to talk to everybody that's out there that's saying, you know what, I wanted to start a business. I had an idea for something, but it just didn't work out right. I didn't know who to ask these questions to. I'm running in a rat race. I want to know who's been through what I've been through, and that's why you're here today, my man, to share your gems, to share that information, to share your own personal legacy as you build it for the future. You ready to take us on that journey?
Let's do it, man.
All right,
Let's do it.
G,
I'm excited.
all right. Now, for everybody who's tuned in right now, remember, we only go Facebook Live for the first 15 minutes or so, and I'm going to hit my post and share button right now because I want to get my watch party started, because I want to make sure people out there are watching and are tuned in for the things that we've got going on. But drop any questions you got for Ramon, drop any questions you got for the table as a whole. We'll make sure we get those things answered for you. And shout out to all the people on Discord that are with us for the entire show. Thank you so much for your patronage over at Patreon. So, Ramon, hop with me in this DeLorean. We're going to hit 88 miles an hour. We're going back into time.
Okay.
Talk to us. Give us that insight when you said, you know what? I want to bring Legacy Lapels to life. What was going on in your life, my man?
Man, okay. Sometimes you need inspiration. Sometimes you need to hit rock bottom to
talk about
to prepare for the bounce back up.
Come on.
And so my background, briefly, I was an engineering major. I went to college. I graduated in engineering. I worked in the engineering field for 5-6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Got laid off about 2 or 3 years ago. Man, it's been 3 years already.
Time flies, man, when you're having fun. Come on.
You're having fun. But I can't say that it was all fun. But in the beginning, man. So I got laid off, and I said, you know what? This is my opportunity to do what it is that I want to do. I dabbled around in a few things, tried to find my groove. I wrote a book. I wrote a book about getting out of fear, called Fear of Greatness.
Sure. And what year was this?
This was in 2017.
2017? Okay.
Yeah, when I released the book. I got laid off in 2016.
Gotcha.
So a year later, I wrote the book. I went into some consulting and some coaching, did some things online, did a lot of online marketing. And I said, I want to impact. I want to do more.
Sure.
I was going into like mindset coaching. I was motivating people. I was documenting this whole journey. I announced to the world that I got laid off basically on social media. And I was kind of taking people through that journey. I was blogging, documenting what it is that I was doing, making money online, showing people how to make money online. I wrote the book. I documented that. And then I said, but I want to do something greater. I want to actually leave something for the people that they can actually touch, that they can actually feel. I was sharing
tangible.
Something tangible. I was sharing a lot of information, but I wanted it to become more tangible. And so the idea behind Legacy Lapels, I was like, okay, well, what empowers me? I was empowering people through information, showing people how to make money online, doing things like that. But what empowers me?
Yeah.
And I thought about, and how can it be tangible? And so I said, custom suits. I know how suits make me feel. I know how they empower me, and it's tangible.
Yeah.
And I've always been interested in suits. I put my first custom suit on, and it actually changed my life. Like the feeling I got when I put a custom suit on, it was different from when I got one off the rack.
Oh yeah.
And I put that on, man. It fit perfectly. I had my name on the inside. It felt, the wool felt a little different, and I was like, you know what? This is what I want to do. I want to transfer that energy to as many men possible. Okay. And that's how Legacy Lapels came about.
That's what's up, man. So obviously in any building of a business, especially at infancy, especially at the beginning, that's where we're making some of our most mistakes. Talk about this footwork. Talk about the pivot game in this beginning stage where you're like, okay, I now have this idea, I've got this concept. I know I want to make it tangible to touch these individuals, and it's with the legacy mindset, right? I'm thinking longevity. Right. Talk about some of the trips, the mistakes, the mishaps, the changes in directions that you had to make in the beginning.
Man, so it's so many.
There always is.
Creating a custom suit. First of all, yeah, it's so many mistakes that you can make in business.
Yeah.
But then it's so many mistakes that you make making a custom suit because there's so many variables. You have so many measurements. We take 30 measurements. Yeah. You have all these details that you design, from the buttons to the lining to the stitching to the pant size to like the belt loops. So many mistakes and so many ways to make a mistake. And so when I got the idea, I tried to minimize, before I actually brought it to life, I hosted a small like little beta group, and all I did was post online. Look, I'm starting a suit company. Who would love to have a suit at a very discounted price, a custom suit, just to try it out, just to let me make all my mistakes on you?
I like that.
But you're getting a custom suit at probably a price that you can never be able to get it. And just know that it may be mistake free, it may not. Yeah. But part of the discount is, this is fair exchange.
Yeah, roll with me.
Right. And all I did was post on Facebook about that. And the response I had, it was sort of market validation at that point as well. Okay. And the response I had was like, yeah, give me one. Like, yeah, I want one. So initially out of the gate, I was able to sell and make about 15, maybe 20 suits for guys just off that one Facebook post. Yeah. And that's where I learned a lot. That's where I made a lot of mistakes from manufacturing, from how to actually take measurements. I realized that I can't have guys sending me their measurements. I actually have to take these measurements myself. Yes. So I had guys in Louisiana. I had guys in New York. I had some friends in LA. Had some friends in Boston send me some suits, and it was just kind of, it was okay. And they was like, you know what, I understand. But but for the most part, man, those guys were very understanding, and but that allowed me to initially, before I went live, like I said, get a lot of mistakes out of the way. It was some guys that were very happy with their suits, but that's just part of it.
And you I want to make sure people are catching these gems as you're dropping them, because one of the biggest things I think people who are wanting to go in business don't understand, and that you literally just said, is, hey, I've got to do some A/B testing. I've got to make sure that my product matches in general my delivery schema, and it's specific to these individuals. And you realize that, hey, there's gonna be mistakes, but guess what? The mistakes, for those that are tuned in right now, you're listening to this via Spotify, or you're watching this at home on YouTube, those mistakes are the key stepping stones to make your business that much greater. Don't ever think you can bypass the mistake phase, because guess what? We as entrepreneurs continue to make mistakes, and it only makes our brands that much stronger, especially for you, good sir, when you're talking about exclusivity. And speaking of exclusivity, this particular portion of the show is sponsored by our Sphere exclusive team. So if you're looking for exclusive content that you can't find anywhere else, then look no further than our Sphere exclusives, only found on Patreon. We've got some behind-the-scenes shots that are happening daily right here at the Sphere Podcast Studios. Plus, each show on the network is curating their own episodes that are only delivered to these Patreon subscribers. And for those same subscribers, we've got a Discord server that's giving you the show from start to finish each and every day. So guess what you've got to do, folks? You've got to go sign up today over at thesphere.tv/Patreon in our $2, $5, or $8 tier, and make sure you get all this exclusive content that we're offering right here at the Sphere. And I definitely want to shout out everybody who's tuned in on Facebook. I see some of the people's hopped in. Chica, we see you. Darnell, Yvonne, we see you. Jake, what's up? DeAudrey, we see you. Clarence, my G, what's going on? Patron, what up, Fred? I see you. And Jennifer, we see you as well. Just want to definitely give a shout out to those. After you've gone through this round of 20 or so, now you're starting to get into your mojo. What does that feel like internally as you're realizing, you know what? I can actually bring this business to fruition, and this can be sound and marketable. What's going through your mind at that moment?
Man, I tell my wife about this all the time. After I got over the initial shock of people actually trusting me with their custom suits, because a lot of the times that's what people, you start to experience like imposter syndrome, where it's like, who am I to start this company? Who am I to do this? Who am I to do that? And after I was able to get over that, like, people were like, they trusted me. Like, I told them I was selling custom suits, and they was like, yes, I want one. Yeah. They didn't know that, they've never seen me talk anything about custom suits or anything. So after that, I was like, you know what, I was able to sell some suits. This can actually be profitable. So I just focused on branding. I focused on my brand message. I really dialed in on what it is that I wanted Legacy Lapels to stand for, and really, really like tune in and hone in on the message and what I wanted people to feel as a company, as a brand. And so I sold those suits in maybe like March. I didn't officially launch and open doors until maybe like the beginning of July. So 3, 4, 5 months, I just had my head down, building out the back end, getting my infrastructure together, and really just focusing on brand message and what I wanted people to feel about Legacy Lapels.
And tell me, how should I feel when I hear the term Legacy Lapels? What should be that internal feeling I should get?
I always say that Legacy Lapels is a men's empowerment company disguised as a custom suit company.
Okay,
that's what I want to transfer.
Speak on it.
As far as like the legacy aspect of it. I want it to be, like you said, I want it to be longevity. I want it to be long. I mean, I wanted people to feel the feeling of like creating a legacy, living your legacy when you put on the suit. I know every time I put on the suit, I'm handling business.
Yeah.
Every time you put on the suit, you're handling business, you're hosting your podcast, you're doing what it is that you love to do.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted guys to feel that every time they put it on Legacy Lapels suit. And so it's a custom suit company disguised as a men's empowerment company disguised as a custom suit company. That's what I say.
I really, really like that. I hope y'all caught that. I hope y'all caught the importance of branding. Hope you caught the importance of messaging, because guess what? We're about to cut this message on Facebook. We love y'all. We adore y'all. Thank y'all so much, Facebook, for tuning in. But you got to subscribe to get the rest of this show. Head over to sphere.tv/Startup Masters. We got a few options. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, Stitcher, Spreaker, iHeart. We're even in your mama's kitchen on that Amazon Alexa. We are anywhere podcasts can be found. Now, while you're there, share the show out. Share it with your family, your friends, your colleagues. Share with your loved ones. Share with your haters. Share with anyone you know that wants to get their hands, one, on a custom suit that makes them feel empowered, and two, wants to get gems that sew back into their own business. And give us some constructive criticism. We want to know how we're doing. Iron sharpens iron around here. So please hit those comments, hit those likes, those stars, hit the dislikes. Help us build better podcasts that sew back into you. And last but not least, if you truly love what we're doing, sow a seed. Head over to sphere.tv/donate. We got a couple of options. You could donate one time on the website, or as we mentioned earlier, you could become a Patreon-based donator, and we're going to get you some exclusive content and goodies that's just for you. So, show's not over, folks, but make sure you subscribe right here at the Sphere. So let's keep this party rolling, because what I like to do, especially in the midst of the show, is put the business aside.
Okay.
Because we can often get so caught up in the rigmarole of marketing, branding, infrastructure, payroll, insurance, accounts receivables, customer service, customer satisfaction. I mean, all the different aspects of business. But like I tell everybody that sits at our table, business is often personal. And it's probably more personal than anything else. It's that customer interaction that makes it personal, and that's how you really build a legacy with your brand. Right. It's the clientele as well, and what's their longevity look like? Not just the fabrics you're using for the suit. So with that being said, what do you do, Mr. Ramon, to sow into self, to keep your spirits high, to keep your creative juices flowing, to stay in this optimum space to run your business?
Man, I go in a lot. Like I go in, and by going in, I mean I look inward. I meditate every morning. I pray every morning. I meditate every night. I read a lot of personal development, spiritual books. Try to attend church as much as I can. And because it's all mental. Like, it's all mental. Before I launched Legacy Lapels, I was coaching people on mindset. I wrote a book on how to get over fear, because a lot of the times that's what holds a lot of us back. Like I said, imposter syndrome. Getting over, like, what are people going to think? Just forgetting about what people think about you and really going in on yourself and finding out what it is finding out your why. And once you remain grounded, once you figure out that why and why you're doing it, I think mixed with your why and just a profound amount of action, I think it's the sky's the limit at that point.
I like that, man. Mixed with the why and a profound amount of action.
Exactly.
I like that. So give us an example, and let's peel this onion back a little bit. Let's dive a little deeper on the rituals that you may have, things that you're doing daily, weekly, things that are on rinse and repeat. I heard you mention enjoying the read, making it to church. What are some of those things that you know that you like to get done on clockwork outside of work that are allowing you, as I mentioned, to really stay on that nice, straight, narrow path?
The two main things I did, well, the one main thing I did was develop a morning routine.
Okay. What does that look like?
It's real short. I mean, it's really only 20 minutes tops. But after I wake up, the first thing I do is I go to a quiet spot in my house. I meditate for 10 minutes, and then I read whatever it is that I'm feeling like reading for another 10 minutes. Okay. And then at that point, I'm ready to go. Like, so I make sure that I sow into self first thing in the morning. Yeah. And then after that it's showtime for the rest of the day.
I feel that. You definitely got to pay yourself first. Somebody lied when they told people that you got to go out here and give it to everybody else, and then at the end of the day is when you try to recoup. I mean, I'm a big firm believer in you start the day with self. How can you pour from an empty cup? Right. We say that often here on the show. Like, it's undoable for those that are sitting in your car right now. You're listening to this on SoundCloud. You cannot expect to be effective. You cannot expect to truly market yourself and put yourself out there if you're spending every wake moment giving to somebody else. And speaking of marketing yourself, this particular portion of the show is sponsored by Edwards Media Solutions. So, do you want marketing that works? Do you want to be able to easily see how your business is growing from month to month? Edwards Media Solutions can deliver smart marketing built around your business goals. We've taken the guesswork out of marketing, and we can deliver easily trackable results that will help you achieve real growth. Give Edwards Media Solutions a call today at 832-304-5757 or visit the website at www.edwardsmediasolutions.com. So shout out to Edwards Media Solutions. They're out there working on your behalf so you can get your morning ritual in. Make sure that thing happens. Hopping back into the business aspect, walk us through today. We understand how the business started from infancy. We understand what you're doing to sow into self so that you can be the best you. Now you're ready to work. You're at the J. Tell me what this looks like from a customer's perspective. What's their interaction looks like? What's their experience? And what type of solution should they expect from you all?
A lot of it happens. So I guess I can walk you through the customer journey. A lot of our interactions right now, man, Instagram is an amazing place to do business. And so a lot of our interactions, they start off online. And that was one of the things, the mistakes, if we're backing up to mistakes really quickly. That was one of the mistakes, or not even a mistake, but a learning point that I had to go through. So initially when I launched Legacy Lapels, I wanted it to be as passive as possible as far as creating suits online. So we had this online store. People would go online and design their own suits, enter their own measurements. We would create the suits, send it directly to their home. Okay. And a lot of that I had to learn to, and then we had to pivot. So we had to pivot to offline interactions, more personal experiences. So a lot of the things that come from Instagram, and I tell them, okay, well, look, we have a place downtown. Come see us. Let's meet face to face. I can show you fabrics. I'll take your measurements. We have a consultation. And that really gives me the opportunity to make a friend. Yeah. At the same time. Yeah. It's very personal. Yeah. We're sitting down in my office, and so I guess from the customer's journey, you go online, we have the online booking appointment. You book an appointment, you come out to me, we meet, we talk, we show you my fabrics. I'll take you through the consultation. We design from the lapel style down to the belt loops, like I said earlier. And that really allowed for that, like you said, you build a friend at the same time you building a client. And a lot of the times as a customer, they will be more prone to that personal interaction allows me to build that relationship, but at the same time build a friend. And from a business standpoint, that helps as far as referrals are concerned. You have a friend now, they're more prone to introduce you to a family member. And that was one of the learning curves that we had to unravel from the online perspective to the personal perspective.
I heard you mention the pivot, and I was going to drop a pin and have you dive deeper into why you had to pivot. But I think that what you just expressed is a gem in itself, along with the power of pivoting. What you're expressing and what I know we've dealt with here at the Sphere and in other businesses, and of course for those that are watching this, if you're building your business right now, you will understand that there's power in these personal relationships you build. And it's not just about the end product, but it's literally, as you mentioned, Ramon, it's the customer experience, the customer journey, because that's the selling point. They're going to talk about the experience at your store, sitting down with you, going through fabrics, cracking jokes, and it being comfortable, because now I'm more likely to do business with you because I know you, like you, and trust you. I can't get those things necessarily from an online store. Right. And not that other businesses don't have multi-million-dollar industries revolving around online stores, but there's something empowering about your business which requires this touch, this feel, something that's tangible in sense, but also esoteric in that feel of being around someone who genuinely wants me to look and feel better. I could preach this thing. I'm just saying, but I understand, because I've been in that room before. So I really get that. And obviously there's competition left and right. Right. There's people who are doing this thing. There's big boxes. There are boutiques. What makes you, outside of being dope man fresh, not a stain on you, looking like money right now in this money green, what makes you that X factor outside of all these other competitors?
Man, I think for one, that personal experience, and for two, I think it's just being able to relate, being able to talk to a man one-on-one and like you said, talk to him about more than just a suit. Talk to him about life. Talk to him about what's going on. That one-on-one conversation is invaluable. I think I can talk about quality of the fabrics. I can talk about who makes the suits. But I think that's the main thing that I pride Legacy Lapels on. Just that feeling. A lot of the times we focus on the superficial fact of looking good in the suit, but I really want to drive home that you're going to feel better in this suit when you put it on. And like you said, it's a lot of people making custom suits. There's a lot of competition, but I wanted to really dive into the feeling, the experience, the empowering factor of, we putting this suit on and I'm going to feel like $1 million, and I'm going to make sure that you feel like $1 million when you walk out of my office.
Love that. And that's the way it's supposed to be. Right. That is the way it's supposed to be. That feeling, that vibe. It's something about putting on something that fits perfectly to a T. Right. And the prestige that's associated with it when you step out and when you feel good and on the outside you look good, and then on the inside you feel good, nobody can stand in your way, man. Right. Nobody. It gives you that boutique feel, that custom feel to self. Speaking of custom feels to self, and I just saw someone walk down the hall, this particular portion of our show is sponsored by Session Boutique. So fashion is an expression, but beauty is an art. Define who you are and simply be is our vision at Session Boutique. We believe our customers deserve the best experience. Therefore, we are committed to delivering only the top quality of clothing for you to choose from. Do you have a special event coming up? Perhaps you're planning a birthday party and need that perfect Diva Dress. At Session Boutique, we offer wardrobe styling, fashion makeovers, and so much more. Go online today to book your free consultation at www.shopsessionboutique.com. So shout out to Session Boutique for the ladies. You know, we got the fellas taken care of.
Exactly.
We got to take care of the ladies.
Indeed.
Real quick, as we wrap up, I often want to have conversations with people about tomorrow because we can get so caught up in the rigmarole of what today offers and what we have to go through in building a business and making it profitable and becoming successful in our own right and X, Y, and Z. I mean, there's so many ands that we often aren't seeing the foresight for the 5, 10, 20 years down the road.
Right.
Talk about what Legacy Lapels looks like in the year 2030, 2040. What's your plans for the future?
Plans for the future, man. I guess I'd have to talk about if we talking, you said 2030, so we're looking at 10, 11 years from now. I like to think a lot further than that or past that. One of the reasons it's called Legacy Lapels because I think about my legacy so much.
Speak on it.
And I wanted to be I basically wanted to escape the rat race to create generational wealth. That's my main focus.
Drop this gem.
Generational wealth. And so I guess if we're talking short terms, 10 years from now, I want Legacy Lapels to be in multiple states, showrooms in multiple states, multi-million-dollar company. But then after that, I also want to get into just doing things that really puts my soul at ease as far as charities, as far as supporting causes that I want to, and doing it freely from a place of just financial freedom to where I can really make some change in our communities. I can really make some change in the criminal justice system. I can do things that really pushes the culture forward and inspire people to create companies and create generational wealth at the same time. So if we're talking 10, 20 years from now, that's the goal for Legacy Lapels. That's why I see Legacy Lapels.
Sure.
And then from a legacy aspect, just generational wealth. Pass this company down to our kids that we don't even have yet and pass that down to their grandkids. And
I'm all here for that, man.
That's where it is in a nutshell.
That's where it should be.
Right.
And I hope and pray other business owners who are tuned in right now really grasp that if you're building for today, it's destined to fail. You've got to build for generations ahead of what you have going on. And it's great. You know, we often, like I said, start the 5, 10, 20-year plan. But to have a 40, a 50-year plan, or at least a schematic of what that looks like, of understanding that I want my grandkids to benefit of the labor I put in today. That's when we're really talking about legacy. That's really what it is. Yeah. And speaking of legacy, I have got one final question for you at the table today. You ready for this?
Let's do it.
All right. So, if I had to rewind the tape, and let's go backwards from having a concept of building legacy, making the pivot and working with people directly, having them come to the showroom, pick out fabrics all the way down to the belt loops, working our way backwards to building out your infrastructure, having the feel or the reach that you've got on Instagram, working it all the way backwards to your A/B testing where you sold 15, 20 suits, and some of them right, some of them a little tight, some of them are all over the place, but you're learning from all these things all the way back to J.C. Penney's and Macy's clothing, making the decisions that you made to say, you know what, I want to build something different that empowers and makes people feel good at the same time. We leave you with all this knowledge that you've gotten along the way, and we slide you a little seed money. What would you add to Legacy Lapels this time around that you didn't have the opportunity to add the first time?
Man, I probably would have
Take your time on this.
Yeah.
This is real.
Yeah, I never.
It's that hindsight.
I never even thought about her.
Hindsight is 20/20.
I would have definitely. I probably would have gotten a physical location sooner, somewhere where I can sit down and talk to people face to face.
Yeah.
Consultations. Because that relationship is priceless.
Yeah.
Relationship
like you said, currency.
Right. And doing it all online, yes, it's a lot of what you see online. It's like, yeah, everyone building online businesses, but just something about talking to someone and actually having come to my place of business. Let's sit, let's talk, let's discuss. Even if you don't buy something from me, that's still an hour, 30 minutes that I spent with you that we just maybe built a connection on.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah, if I had more seed money, I definitely would have invested in maybe like some rent at a place and
I feel that.
Just sit down, have that from the jump.
Yeah, brick and mortar makes a difference.
Exactly. So, yeah, hindsight, it wouldn't have took me 7 months to do that.
Yeah,
I would have did that a lot earlier. So.
Hey, man,
yeah.
I totally understand, and it makes sense for your business, and it's because you've been through that. It's because you've got the hindsight. It's because you've helped build this legacy, pun intended. This lapel legacy that you've built is because of all things that we would officially like to coin you, good sir, a startup master. So for anybody who's tuned in right now, they're listening to the sound of our voices. They're watching this right now on YouTube or in iTunes. Let them know where they can reach you, where they can come, sit down, get a fitting, put their hands on some material and build a relationship.
Yes. So LegacyLapels.com, www.LegacyLapels.com, Instagram, Legacy Lapels, Facebook, Legacy Lapels. We're located at 2007 Commerce Street in Houston, Texas. It's in the Annex co-working space. I have on my website, I have contact, I have email, I have a number that you can text from 9 to 5 every day. So that's all the ways to reach us.
That's where it is, my G.
Indeed.
Thank you so much for blessing the table. We truly appreciate it, good sir.
Yes,
and we're here for you. This is why we do it, man.
Thanks for having me on, man.
Of course. And once again, for everybody who's tuned in to us, make sure y'all reach out to our main woman in charge, Kalia Guillory, at KOG Speaks. And, of course, hit her up at NAP Bar Hugh, HOU. Make sure you reach out to there over at Nap Bar Houston. If you need a nap, holler at her. She's got the space for you to do that. And of course, if you need to reach me anywhere online, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat at G Hawkins. That's G Hawkins with a Z. If you got any questions about what we do here at the show, or you know a great entrepreneur, shoot us an email, startupmasters@thesphere.tv, or hit us across any social media platform at the Sphere TV. Use our coveted hashtag StartupMasters, and we will definitely get back with you. This has been another great episode. We'll see y'all next time, folks. Peace.